All right. Well, I can't see what you got going on because I don't have the stream up, but
I can do what? Okay.
We're on the BRB screen right now. They're working on getting heroes picked. Legends picked, rather.
Yeah, I just...
And Koki, are we BO3?
Best of 5.
All right, they're already starting up. They're banning out maps right now. We need to go live, and we need to go now. So, we are here. Once again, we have Midget and Hyper Hero versus Hurricane Pike Matthew and Zagsy on Mammoth Falls.
2, 1.
Should be a quick match already. 2v2 is always intense. Looking for the early aggression with Matthew. Getting 2 weapons out already, the axe and the gauntlets. A lot of unarmed action. Double gauntlets in the way of blue team. Hurricane Pike, Matthew, and Zagsy. A lot of aggression, a lot of combo potential as long as they can maintain it. The blasters, though, meant to hold them off. How are you expecting to see this match go, Koki?
I'm expecting Hyper Hero and Midget to win this. They haven't been a team for a while, but they were a team in the past, and they're both top players.
Oh man!
Matthew
gets the gimp! Or no, Hyper Hero, I'm sorry, not Matthew. Matthew gets gimped.
Yeah.
Names are too similar. Anyways, though, lots of action on the stage. Yeah, Zagsy and Hyper Hero going back and forth at each other right now. The scythe action from Hyper Hero is intense. Matthew, though, takes out Midget. Red team is slightly ahead with Hyper Hero and Midget. They have 1 life advantage, but Hyper Hero's health is not looking great. A lot of action, a lot of trading right now. Just an absolute slobberknocker on the stage. There's no way for them to get these clean hits in 2v2s because you always have your partner covering. Zagsy gets a big kill against Hyper Hero. Throws the gauntlets, but picks up the sword to make up for it. Right now, Zagsy and Matthew covering each other off stage against Midget, looking to get the extra kill.
Blue team has stage control. Red team is struggling to keep it, and Midget struggling to find a weapon. Midget finally gets the hammer.
Midget and Zagsy really low on health right now. 1 big sig on either of them will knock them out. Small little gimp from Hurricane Matthew ends up overcommitting for the kill, and both he and Midget are down. The only one with 2 stocks left right now is Hyper Hero, who has been doing an amazing job of landing solid hits and lots of damage. Those blasters are nothing to sneeze at. So they're splitting the stage right now. Midget going after Hurricane Matthew, and Hyper Hero going after Zagsy. Zagsy definitely holding his own. Midget is getting saved by Hyper Hero. What an incredible move to give him that extra jump and get him back onto that wall. That's one of the things you need to be so aware of in 2v2 games, is just how to keep your ally around. And a big double kill from the Taros of Midget to finish off the round. 1-0 in favor of Red Team.
We see Midget switching to that Bodvar. Hyper Hero still picking his legend. Hurricane Pike, Matthew, and Zagsy are going to stay on their same legends. Expecting a lot to come out from it. Midget's Bodvar, but
I could definitely see another Scythe hero. Hyper Hero was doing great with the Scythe last game. Issued a lot of damage. Managed to just have so much control, and it's impossible to dodge the huge hitboxes of Scythe without careful deliberation. So Nyx again, absolutely.
And Midget going back to Taros, actually. That was more of a bait pick, it seemed like.
They're requesting a short break. Midget possibly having technical difficulties. Possibly just a bathroom break. What do you think, Koki?
Probably bathroom break. Midget does have pretty good gear, so I wouldn't expect any technical difficulties. So,
we did see a 3-stock win from Red Team last game, as Midget had 1 stock and Hyper Hero had 2. So after what we saw last game, there's a lot of chaos going on, but what kind of adjustments do you think that Matthew and Zagsy need to make if they want to take game 2?
I think they just need to they had a lot of good stage control last game. If they can just keep having that good stage control and keep Hyper Hero and Midget off stage and get the early games like they did last game more consistently, I think they'll definitely have a better chance at winning this.
I think that Hyper Hero especially was kind of the MVP last game. He got a couple of good gimps early on and had so much control. There was that point at the very end where he saved Midget, who was without a recovery off stage. And if they manage to keep that up, so no temple, no grove, no stadium, no keep, another Mammoth Falls, do you think?
Most likely Mammoth Fortress, yeah.
Mammoth Fortress. I knew that. Mammoth Fortress. This is why English is hard. So, same heroes it looks like. Same map. Could this be an absolute repeat?
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Most definitely, probably. We see blue team both getting weapons first. Red team without weapon. Midget finally gets the hammer.
But they can't even get a single hit. Okay, Matthew finally getting that scythe action. Looking for the early gimp, just barely misses the grab with the recovery. And now, Midget with the early kill. Absolute stomping.
Zagsy trying to continue the Gauntlets combo onto Hyper Hero, not finishing it off though. I'd be afraid if I was Zagsy off stage with Hyper Hero. Hyper Hero just doing great work off stage. And the down sig on the Gauntlets almost kills Hyper Hero, but not quite.
Hyper Hero is very low health right now, so is Midget. Even though they do have the stock advantage, they need to be very careful. Midget showing just how terrifying he is with unarmed, as he's controlling the stage without a weapon, controlling the edge. Hyper Hero looking for a weapon right now. Zagsy and Hurricane Matthew are slightly ahead now as they knock Midget off stage. Good teamwork from them. They're splitting the stage well. They're covering each other. But Matthew he just makes it back to the stage. He had extra recoveries due to having grazed the stage earlier. So Zagsy getting that domination. That is, I believe, 3 kills in the stock.
Yep. And Hyper Hero got gimped really early. I don't know if Red Team can make it back from this. There's definitely this possibility, but Blue Team's just playing so well. They're having that great synergy. They're having great spacing, helping each other, continuing their combos.
Matthew getting taken off stage. He gets the axe thrown at him with a attempted gimp. He's got way too much health right now, though, but one good sig will take him down. There we go. There's the recovery from the axe. Looking for extras. The grab cancel neutral sig just barely whiffing. And Matthew out again in a rough situation on his last stock, but they are still far ahead of the red team in terms of health. Red team needs to be more agile, needs to avoid getting hit, and Hyper Hero cannot get knocked off again. He's on his last stock. A lot of hitboxes that Hyper Hero's throwing out right now with those blasters. Very good for spamming with lights in the air.
And Midget is taken out by Hurricane Matthew on the right side of the stage. I didn't see how, but...
Midget with a great save, knocking Matthew off the stage as Hyper Hero was caught in a combo. Hyper Hero at such low health needs to avoid getting hit at all. There we go. Is that a possible kill? Is there enough to recover? Yes! There was no follow-up as Midget was covering the stage well. But there's the sig. Zagsy takes out Hyper Hero. Midget has to do 3 stocks on his own without losing a single one. That is a tall order. Zagsy on his last stock now. Midget, was that enough? No! The ground pound did not clear.
Midget needs to play perfectly right now. He can get killed by any sig right now, both with these characters having pretty strong sigs. And while he does have hammer, it's still not the best idea to go off stage, especially since he can just get hit with 1 down air and he's dead.
There's the Sair, though! Sair keeping him alive. Zagsy is the only one left. Needs to deal a ton of damage against Zagsy. He's down by almost a full stock of health. But This could be amazing. He's already gone through 2 stocks on his last one in deep red health. Midget, if you pull this off, this could be one for the history books. He gets the throw chase! Oh my lord, Midget! What an incredible performance to secure the game for Red Team as they go up 2-0.
Both teams are sticking with the same legends as last time.
Same legend, same stage. Blue Team has to be looking for that run back right now. They are salty about this, we can tell. They're just going through immediately. They know what they want. They know how to win. They have to be slapping themselves for losing that 2-on-1 situation. Red Team getting the early weapon. Hyper Hero with his scythe. And they're putting it to good use. Even with Zagsy getting the weapon, they still get the early damage advantage. Red Team does. Hyper Hero putting the scythe to good use. However, Zagsy with the ground pound of the sword, knocking Midget off stage, trying to control the side. A lot of action on the left side of that stage right now. Good Sig from Midget. A lot of work, but Hurricane Matthew keeping Midget off stage, controlling him extremely well with the scythe. There's the recovery, though. Nice ground pound with the blasters from Hyper Hero. So, a 2-stock advantage already for Red Team. Hyper Hero and Midget both showing off right now. They're feeling very comfortable. Midget making it back to the stage comfortably, getting knocked up into the air. But Zagsy, what just happened? What happened to Zagsy?
I did not see that.
Looks like he just ran out of recovery. He was getting a little too ambitious off the side. Hurricane Matthew trying to take the unarmed attack against Hyper Hero. Off the stage against a Scythe 2, that is a very, very dangerous prospect. Midget finally losing his first stock. And Hurricane Matthew gets the dare, the unarmed dare for the dive kick and knocking Hyper Hero away. It was actually a team kill.
Yeah.
This is some intense action going on right now. Midget clearing out Zagsy. A little bit of friendly fire action, though. Well, what a combo! Hyper Hero bombs Zagsy into Midget. Into the side sig. Hurricane Matthew, though, again unarmed, again off the stage, but not having any payoff. Going for a lot of unarmed dares, but he cannot fly where eagles dare. Hyper Hero off stage with the blasters, trying to cover aerial distance. Yeah, Midget getting the recovery with the hammer against Hurricane Matthew. Hurricane Matthew on his last stock. He is just getting beaten in all directions by Hyper Hero. Even with Midget losing the last stock, they need the same event for Blue Team. The reverse sweep, 3-stock comeback has to happen. Hurricane Matthew gets his gauntlets. Midget is out too. So it is now Hurricane Matthew with 1 stock against Hyper Hero with 2. The health is in the favor right now of Hurricane Matthew. 1 good sig should take out Hyper Hero, but there's still a full stock after that to deal with. A lot of hitboxes from those blasters, just poking out, a lot of pivot dodging. Keeping the weapons, though.
Matthew needing to stay very careful right now. He can easily get hit with one of Nyx's strong force sigs, having almost as much, around the same amount of force as Taro Sig with the guns.
Red Team Sigs are extremely potent right now. Oh, he misses the corner, so this is the last stock. Hurricane Matthew needs to take this one perfect, but it will keep Blue Team in the match. This is the match point for Red Team. The big side sig, and Red Team takes it. Hyper Hero. So Red Team goes 3-0 in match 1 here. That will knock Hurricane Pike Matthew and Zagsy down to losers. And we've been seeing a lot of disqualifications, unfortunately. So, we'll be seeing Krilo and Mr. Pedronski against Hyper Hero and Midget. Now, how do you expect that Krilo and Mr. Pedronski are going to take this match?
While I haven't seen them in the tournament scene before, I know that Creel has really strong guns. He's a Thatch main, so I expect him to go Thatch the entire set. And I don't know about his opponent, I mean his partner, but yeah.
Okay, so Steve and Simba were forfeiting. They are unable to play today due to scheduling. So this is a top 8 of 3 teams. At the same time, though, if we see matches like we did last game, this could be an intense 2v2 top 8, top 3. So, Hyper Hero and Midget versus Krilo and Mr. Pedronski. I am very curious. We know that Krilo is strong with the blasters, but I believe it was Hyper Hero who was showing all of his blaster work last game. So it could be a lot of little show-off match between blasters, a big face-off saying who's better. It's about bragging rights more than it's about money right now.
Creel picking the next, possibly going to go into the Ditto against Hyper Hero. That would be extremely interesting. I don't think Creel has as good of a scythe as Hyper Hero, but his guns could be possibly stronger.
Hyper Hero's scythe is absolutely terrifying. He has so much aerial tech chase. It's so difficult to dodge him. The big thing, though, the way you talk about Krilo's blasters, another thing to note, too, is the difference in stance that Krilo and Hyper Hero have. Krilo is taking the speed stance, sacrificing his dexterity, and Hyper Hero stays completely neutral. Do you think that the small difference in speed will make any difference for Krilo?
That's actually kind of hard to say. I think it's going to allow him to have better stage control and better edge control, but he won't be able to as easily pull off those scythe combos and strings that Hyper used a lot of last game. So,
all right, we are going into stage pick though, and red team gets first ban. They're getting rid of the entire left side, so everything from Grumpy Temple to Blackguard Keep. Are we going to see more Mammoth Fortress? I'd love to see some Shipwreck Falls here, though. Now let's talk about Mr. Pedronski for a moment. Going back to Mammoth, but he is playing Koji. Koji with the bow and sword. A very familiar character for a lot of tournament play. Big thing is, though, he has the lowest defense, even with a defensive stance, in this particular match. So we'll see if that gets abused at any point in time. So red team getting the first weapon, and Koji, Mr. Pedronski, also getting a bow. A brawl already on the stage as everyone finally gets their weapons. Krilo showing how he likes those blasters. Looks like both he and Hyper have their preferred weapon. Hyper already with the tech chase on the scythe. So difficult to dodge. Nice down sig, though, from Mr. P. A lot of coverage between blue team right now. They're doing a very good job of looking out for each other. Except for this is not looking good for Krilo as he gets taken away from the stage. There's so much more control, but the recovery sends Hyper Hero way into the sky and gets Krilo some room to work. No! Hyper Hero, you just killed Midget.
both teams extremely even. Both have one player with 3 stocks in the red and both with 2 stocks at fresh stock.
A very even match so far. I am loving the interplay between the two Nixes right now. And as we say that, Krilo gets knocked out, and it looks like Hyper Hero's not much longer for the world. One more SIG or strong aerial attack, and that will finish him. Oh, Mr. P really desperate for that side SIG. Just barely missing it. Krilo and Midget offstage. I'm loving the pairings and the sheer aggression between Krilo and Midget. Even though they do trade off now, Krilo's blasters are enormous. You were right about them. Hyper Hero is finally gone. All of them at 2 stocks. Blue team down a little bit in health. Mr. P barely makes it back to the stage, just barely dodges the death zone at the bottom. But not anymore. The ground pound from Midget. Both of them now teaming up on Krilo, trying to keep him away, but Mr. P guarding the edge, giving Krilo plenty of time to cross up and get under the stage. Krilo now putting a beating on Hyper, but Hyper Hero gets him off stage again. The scythe throws are so obnoxious, they give you such great control.
Hyper Hero taking away Krilo stocks. This is starting to look a little more gloom for Blue team. Seeing a little bit of more of a skill gap whenever it comes to teamwork. We see both players on Blue team having great individual players, but whenever it comes to team play, Red team just has more experience.
I do think that Red team individually, as you said, is much more skilled, but we really cannot discount the team play that Blue team is having. They, I've seen a couple of combos and a little bit of wombo where they'll get spiked out of the air and the other player on Blue team will pick up the slack. But the individual talent that both Hyper Hero and Midget are displaying, especially Midget with his ground pound gimps with the axe, is absolutely incredible. And that is really what's making the difference right here, especially in this matchup with Hyper Hero against Krilo. The individual skill is so important. This is a one-on-one and huge health advantage that is giving, ultimately, Red team the win. So how would you characterize Blue team's play at that point in time? They are the first time we're seeing them. It does feel a little bit more lackluster than Red. Dual Dianas. Interesting.
Ooh. I think that they're both, for being kind of newer to the tournament team as a team, they're both doing extremely well. Midget and Hyper Hero definitely being a little bit more experienced, being in the competitive scene a lot longer. Going to Black Card Keep, though, this could either benefit or hurt Blue team.
Well, I certainly won't be a neutral, that's for sure. It's kind of hard for it to not benefit or hurt them. But the big thing is, what I'm thinking about here is with both bow characters, the angles and possibly being able to use dares to knock the opponents through the gap in between the stage and the moving platform. Big neutral sig right there from Bodvar already. Midget changing his gameplay up a little bit. We didn't see too many neutral sigs from him previously, but on Blackguard Keep, this is a good setup with a lot of verticality. This is, we're seeing a lot of control out of Red team. They're keeping so much of the stage just completely covered, and Blue team has nowhere to go to even start an angle of attack. Like, Krilo is getting a few lights here and there, a few aerial attacks, but there's nothing that's a serious combo starter that he can actually get. And meanwhile, Mr. Pedronski is... it feels like he's drowning right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, it definitely seems like Diana's not a character that Mr. Pedronski is comfortable with. Everybody else seems like they're playing a character they're comfortable with. Just making it a lot harder for him to pull anything off, get any combo.
Great ground pound from Krilo. Sorry to interrupt you there.
It's okay.
Takes the kill. They're at an even stock play, despite the fact that we're seeing such a disparity in terms of just how they're playing with each other. I say that as Krilo ends up dying and they go down 1 stock. But they're keeping it very, very even. Really, the only difference is how much damage Mr. Pedronski has taken. Diana, being a low defense hero as well, is very, very vulnerable to this kind of action. To just the brawling that's going on in the center. Mr. P off stage again. He really needs the chance to recover. Gets the Sair, though, and covers his own way back onto the stage. He doesn't even bother throwing to try and recover.
Moving platform, saving Mr. P from death right there. And Creel with the ground pound with the guns takes out Midget. Finally, Blue team has the lead for once in this set.
Mr. P down again, though. I really feel like Mr. P is very comfortable with the bow. I believe last round, too, he was also playing a bow character.
He was.
And It seems like his blaster spacing, though, is where the real weakness is with Diana. So I expect to see him try to get rid of these blasters very quickly in exchange for getting a bow. Nice grab cancel into the side sig, though. Doing a lot of damage. Both Krilo and Hyper Hero very close to death. Deep red. Mr. P is so dangerous. One good sig will knock him down to red. One more sig will finish him off. A lot of poking right now. Blue team was looking for the edges of the stage, trying to sandwich red team in, but it didn't work out. As we do see Midget take out Krilo. Midget now looking for the ground pound, looking to drop Mr. P to turn this into an absolute 2v1. They see that he is the weak link right there. Midget was looking for the kill, but Midget might get taken out himself with the dare from Krilo. 2v1 in the wrong direction. So Hyper Hero with 2 stocks versus 2 stocks across 2 heroes. Hyper Hero, can you carry it right now? He's turtling up a little bit, trying to look for an opportunity to get in.
If he can
little
abuse
side light.
If he can abuse the moving platform on the side, only one of them will be able to really approach him. But it doesn't matter, as one of his stocks is taken out. He has one more chance.
2 stocks versus 1 stock at this point. They're throwing a lot of hitboxes, making it very difficult to have anywhere to go. They can cover for each other. This is going to be very hard for Hyper Hero. But we've seen him do it already. No, we saw Midget do it already with a 3-stock comeback. But I believe Hyper Hero can as well. A lot of action. Oh, that sig to get underneath of the hitboxes. And getting rid of Krilo. It's only Mr. P now in deep red. He's off the stage. Down on health. This could be the end. I want to see Mr. P get that bow because he feels so much more comfortable with it. Spot dodge, trying to get underneath of everything. Mr. P, don't stick to your blasters. Does he have a recovery? Yes, he does. Just barely. Hyper Hero looking for the side sig again. The same hunt that he pulled for the first kill against Krilo. The same trick going under the possible hitboxes. Mr. P, though, a lot of Sares. It doesn't do you any good, though, when you get caught like that by your SIGs. So red team again, going up 2-0. You know, I think they got a good chance of winning that $25. What do you think?
If they win this, then it goes into Krilo and Mr. P against Matthew and Zagzy. And they've shown that they can definitely play against both teams extremely well. Midget going with the Sentinel pick. So
I'm wondering if this kind of turns into just feeling a little more cocky, or if he's just feeling like Bodvar's expired. Just his Bodvar Thatch from Krilo. So he's got the sword and blasters.
Krilo told me last night, I was just talking to him for a little bit, that Thatch is his main. He's used to this lower defense. He's used to having all the speed. And it looks like I will be switching out. I'll be switching out with Hyken Viking, so take it away.
Alright, excellent.
2, 1, brawl.
Hello!
Hyken Viking, glad to see you, my man. You are here just in time for Game 3 of Match 2.
Oh boy.
Midget and Hyper Hero have been dominating this tournament so far. We see a little bit of friendly fire, but their stage control is absolutely incredible. What do you think?
Well, saying as how I just got here, I'm not quite sure.
Oh yeah, you're just joining the game right now. So, Krilo, working those blasters, he gets a lot of the side lights and everything. Mr. P is definitely the character that we are seeing, the player that we're seeing right now, who is getting picked on by Hyper Hero. Hyper Hero and Midget both going after Mr. P whenever they can, but he seems to be the one who's just taking much more damage, who's just getting picked on all over the place. Krilo tends to be much more adept at dodging on blue team.
I have to say that by spectating this, These are very strange character picks from these players, because usually we'll see Midget on somebody like Bodvar or Teros, and we'll see a Hyper Hero on either Bryn or Diana, and quite frankly, that is neither of those legends, and I usually see Krillo on Nyx, but right now he's playing Thatch. This is some very interesting character picks we're seeing.
Yeah, well, Midget had been playing Bodvar. He did start off on Teros. I think he's just playing around a little bit, experimenting with some different characters, trying to, I think he feels very comfortable.
Could be.
Oh, this is absolutely brutal to see Midget get that kill on Mr. P. As I say, he's just been getting picked on all match long.
He is extremely good at those hammer edge guards. That's one of his key factors as a player. Whenever he has a hammer on the edge, he is an extremely dangerous player, and you do not want to mess with him.
And he's doing the same kind of aggression with the Qatar being such a mobile weapon. Gives him a lot of opportunities to make attacks from very strange angles and things that are very difficult to defend against.
Midget going in kind of deep for these Qatar edge guards here, going in really deep with these stairs and down airs, and luckily not getting punished for any of it. He's just going in, doing whatever he feels like, and he's really just getting out untouched.
We've been seeing him do this all tournament long so far. He is the much more aggressive part of Team Red, whereas Hyper Hero is much more controlled and accurate with all of his moves, especially with the Scythe. Hyper Hero's Scythe is a sight to behold. He's been playing Nyx all tournament long. Right there, gets the kill with the recovery. And Midget getting punished for whiffing.
Hyper Hero going down. This is even stocks, but we do have to keep in mind that Mr. Petronovsky is in the very deep red. Just about anything might knock him out here.
Yeah, we've been seeing that. That's the story of his tournament life so far, is just, again, getting bullied everywhere, dodging into attacks it tends to be. So covers his approach onto the stage with the sword toss, and Krillo covering the rest of it, keeping Hyper Hero busy.
And that is Mr. Petronovsky's last stock. It is now in a 1v2 situation. Krillo has to beat up both Hyper Hero and Midget. Is he going to even be able to do this?
Not at all. That is a tall order for anyone, and Krillo getting taken out by that Sayer. So that does spell loser's bracket for Krillo and Mr. Pedronowski. And that means they will be taking a match against Hurricane Pike Matthew and Zagsy. We will see which of these two teams gets the run back against Hyper Hero and Midget. I love the way the interplay between Hyper Hero and Midget goes, though. Taking a look at the way that Hyper Hero ends up being this much more reliable, a kind of a tech chase-oriented character, especially with the sights that he's using. And then Midget is just going all over the place and edge guarding like crazy, being very, very aggressive on the edges, looking for the early gimps. It's a very unique interplay to see.
Yeah, definitely these two players have been a good team for a long time. They took a little bit of a break from a team after CEO Dreamland it was, but they've been on and off ever since. And even though they might play with different partners and do tournaments with different people, they are still a very dominant team together.
So we do see almost the exact opposite characters on Red Team, as Matthew takes Ember, the speedy but relatively low defense hero, and Zagsy takes Algrim, also a quick hero, but stocked with defense in exchange for having dismal dexterity.
Personally, I am a very big fan of Algrim, as I am a returning Algrim main, nearly level 50. Give myself a pat on the back there.
Congratulations on 50, my man. But Algrim, his SIGs are enormous. So much force behind them. So we will see if Zagsy can utilize those or just get beat up as he goes without a weapon immediately. And Mr. P goes in with the blaster startup. Mr. Petronovsky is very much a fan of the bow characters seeing him with blasters is a little more clumsy than he was with Diana's bow or with Koji's bow.
Zagzy is just currently beating up Krillo with his axe right now, getting some really nice end light reads and down light reads. But Krillo is keeping off the edge
fighting
here.
back.
Krillo's gonna have his edge guard
Good
here.
dares.
Zagzy gets back to the stage, completely safe.
Getting a little bit of help from Hurricane Matthew.
Matthew might be in trouble here. And
Matthew is in trouble. There's the ground pound, the dive kick as well.
Zagzy's under the stage.
And
That
Zagzy
recovery is
also
not
getting a
gonna
huge
knock
recovery
out.
hit on the Mr. P.
The N-Sig.
This is loco. So again, Mr. P is going down one
Shots are
stock.
just going everywhere. Knockout after knockout.
I'm loving this action right now. And now we've got Ulgrim with the Rocket Lance. Will we see the Rocket Lance horizontal tech chase? No! Preferring to go unarmed. Zagzy much prefers that axe to the Rocket Lance, it looks like.
Matthew doing really well with these guitars right now, just piecing up Mr. P.
Again, Mr. P looking like a punching bag this match so far. He really needs to get his dodges on and be more accurate with his hitboxes.
Mr. P does get that recovery into the nair, getting himself safe on the stage, but right back into Matthew's guitars.
And that's what we're seeing all the time. And even you take a look at Zagzy, the way he's against Krillo right now is still favoring looking to beat up on Mr. P. The positioning that he takes is always closer to the middle of the stage, closer to the option of just tag teaming Mr. P. Oh no, the dare from Krillo.
Oh,
knocks out
Mr. P with the
Hurricane.
unfortunate team hit there with a down sig. That could be it for Mr. P. The weapon throw, and that's going to be Mr. P's second stock. He is now on to his final stock, tied with Matthew. The end sig from Zagzy. Can he get this edge guard? Krillo's in a really bad spot.
And the ground pound,
One
beautiful.
stock now. They're at a slight deficit, but definitely not anything that cannot come back from.
Absolutely not. Krillo at this point right now really needs to take out Zagzy, or even better yet, Hurricane Matthew. Hurricane Matthew needs to be out. They can take the 2-on-1 situation. But anything they can do right now to bring this even.
Mr. P with the
Mr. P
crazy
gets the
cheesy
kill.
down sig, and what do you know? They took the lead.
This is incredible. 2-on-1 right now. Both of them get what they need to. Mr. P covering with the neutral lights. A little bit of unfortunately friendly fire, though. Here we go. Starts the aerial combo. Good sig.
End sig. And
The ground pound gets intercepted by the grab cancel end sig.
Zagzy's doing a really good job right now, actually.
Oh my, that blaster chain combo. That was disgusting. Are we even allowed to do that? That is just unfair.
Zagzy!
The way that they
he
use those
barely makes it
hitboxes.
back to the stage, playing the edge with Krillo. Gets
The
over
way they
spot.
teamed up right there was incredible.
That was a really, really good play from Mr. Petronovsky and Krillo.
I am utterly taken aback the way they use the blaster hitboxes and SIGs to spam guard the stage in such a way that is completely undodgeable.
They are doing really well. And the gun synergy they had towards the end there, where they got a combo that was like a 3-hit team combo that basically got Ulgrim from yellow to orange almost a kill percent just with one single combo. That was crazy.
And just a chain of side lights in the air. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, we do see again the Thatch Diana interplay. Mr. P is showing me a little bit. I'm pleasantly surprised by his blaster play. I think he's finally getting into his zone. Red team doubling up on first weapons and enormous punishment. Hurricane Matthew looking for the early game with the guitars immediately. Krillo making a comeback though
These two are
unarmed.
playing a very dangerous game on the edge right now.
Absolutely. They finally get the stage. I love the Azoth pick from Zagzy. Here we go, though. Hurricane Matthew taking the offstage again. These guitars are so dangerous with the Suri.
It seems these two are equally on par at the edge because they just keep going back and forth with their hits, hitting each other off.
It's really interesting seeing Hurricane Matthew take these Qatar setups and just run with it. I'm wondering... Oh, wow, what a great recovery right there. So they're already in a situation where they're at the one stock advantage. Mr. P finally doing some...
Mr. P! Krillo with the dares! Krillo's so damaged though, even a Sair from Axe off the wall will knock him out.
Mr. P looking for the tech chase, looking to get the finish on Hurricane Matthew. He manages to make it back to the stage though, avoids all of the projectile spam from Krillo. Krillo played a dangerous game off stage right there, but surviving and putting some extra damage on Zagzy, who is now in deep red. Zagzy hunting with the Axe Sairs. Big down sig right there, but almost team play. Misses reads with the Sigs.
It seems this game is really looking towards Zagzy and Matthew right now. But last game, it was. And then what happened was, towards the end, Krillo and Mr. P brought it back and completely stole the game away from him. So we cannot say anything too sure yet.
I think the big difference between teams that we've been seeing so far this tournament is that Krillo and Zagzy are both competent players in their own right, but their individual skill tends to fall a little bit short compared to their opponents. However, their team play is what makes them work together. Their team play is just phenomenal. The way they help each other, the way they interact, the combos they set up.
I fully agree with that statement.
Meanwhile, Zagzy and Hurricane Matthew feel like they're much stronger individual players, but we see a lot of friendly fire action. We see a lot of them not covering each other as much. They're splitting the stage, they're working on individual kills.
Dominating.
That could be their downfall if they don't work that out.
Yeah. Mr. P, unfortunately, misses his recovery and does a bunch of damage to Krillo, which caused him to lose his second stock. They are still even stocks, though, so if Krillo can survive a little bit longer, put some more damage out there, which does not look too hopeful. Hey, makes it back to the stage anyways. Good cross under. It's either team's game right now. That's the big thing that we're looking at. Mr. P getting some coverage, barely dodges that Sig.
Mr. P just did some Matrix stuff. He was getting hit from both sides, and he spot dodged through both of the attacks.
Yeah, he is the one, in fact, as well as being on one stock, which is why he has to be the one. So there's the start. There's your Sig right there.
This is a very similar situation from last game! This exact same situation where they bring it back and Zagzy has to do a 2v1 again.
Double blasters. I believe this is 1 game to 1 game right now. Blue team looking to take the advantage. They are hungry for that run back now. They want to take on Hyper Hero and Midget. The same setup again! The same setup! Zagzy this time knows what to expect. He breaks away, grab cancel Sig, doesn't connect, and now he's got to deal with this spam again.
Going for those recoveries. Zagzy just really doesn't have a good way to get in here. He has to fight an uphill battle.
Beautiful, though, that he uses as his approach option.
I have a feeling if he could just get that nair onto Mr. P, this could be a much more even fight. And here we go, a 1v1. Zagzy versus Krillo. Can he make the 2v1 clutch?
So many Sairs coming out of Zagzy. Doesn't matter if he's using the axe or the bow. But there's the chase right now. Krillo,
oh, the clash!
One more, dodges the bow throw. Now,
down, but it doesn't hit him down below. And he goes for the gravity cancel, but the side Sig beats it out, and that's going to be the set going to Krillo and Mr. Pedronowski.
Was that the set? I thought that was 2 games, not 3. They're going BO5.
Oh, it is? Okay.
BO5, baby. We're still live. Okay, that was also 1-0. I thought we'd gone through 3 games.
Yeah,
that was only the second game. So this is 2-0 now.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So, we've got Krillo and Mr. P Same legends again. It really feels like they're starting to come into their own. They've gotten warmed up finally. Seeing Pike, Mr. Matthew there with Sentinel, Zagsy on Val. Have we seen Zagsy on Val yet?
Not from what I've seen, no.
I don't believe so. We usually see Zagsy working with the axe or something a little bit heavier. So Val being a little bit quicker of a character using the gauntlets and the sword, I'm wondering how Zagsy's going to deal with that. Could this just be, honestly, surrender picks? Just trying to throw it at this point and just do something different. And they're giving up a $25 prize.
It could just be the idea of throw something different at them and throw them off.
Possibly. That blaster combo, though, between the Thatch and the Diana, the Thatch throwing those cannonballs and Diana just keeping the low hitboxes on the stage is so obnoxious in the 2-on-1 situation. I'm liking Hurricane's hammer right now already. Just getting a couple stairs out there, a little bit of poke. Very well split on the stage. This plays much to red team's advantage. Again, when they're so split like this, the individual skill from red team seems to work out a little better.
Currently, Mr. P these two are fighting their own battles. They're doing 1v1s on each side of the stage. Currently inching towards each other, maybe trying to signal, hey, we shouldn't be fighting 1v1s right now. This is a 2v2 after all.
Talking about 1v1s, though, in that 1v1 format, Mr. P almost kills Zagsy, and Krillo does kill Hurricane. This is almost a full 2-stock advantage immediately. Oh no, some friendly fire right there, but not enough to kill Krillo.
Matthew at the bottom of the stage. This could be bad against a bow. He gets the dare, though. Zagsy.
That bow ground pound, the bow...
Oh! Dare. Mr. P gonna be gimping himself.
Oh! That is not what you can do right now. Do not want to be in that scenario.
And from what we're seeing right now, this is kind of a good pick from Zagsy here. The Val is actually working out, rather than the typical axe play we see from him.
I really like, too, the stage selection for Red Team. I feel like this stage plays very much to their strengths.
Gauntlets and guitars are both great weapons on the edge, and this stage will grant you a lot of edge play naturally. And that is going to be a heavy ground pound for Mr. P, just punishing the fact that he went too far off stage and just kind of pulled an LDZ, where rather than chasing off the stage with a ground pound, he just kind of slowly moves off the stage into a ground pound, and it's really unexpected.
It's something to... yeah. Such a punish for the gauntlet whiff. That's one thing you have to worry about with your gauntlets, is the vulnerability on that side sig from Val.
Matthew taking that stock from Mr. P off the top of the map with the end sig on guitars. Such a strong sig. It kills way earlier than you expect it to.
Especially considering the fact that guitars tend to not be a huge damaging weapon. You vastly underestimate the amount of force they can generate.
Zagsy hitting his teammate here, and that's going to cause Matthew to lose the stock, setting him up for the opponent. That is not what you want to see.
I think he was trying to save his teammate by giving him a little love tap and giving an extra recovery. But it did not work out, that's for sure. Zagsy hunting for the combo starter right now, and getting the big sig off the stage. The nice tech chase. He's been hunting that all game and finally gets the hit.
Mr. P gets the side sig, and this is looking like a really even game. Mr. P has a bit of damage on him, kind of like he always does, way below the rest of the players. But
everybody on one stock, though.
This is it. This could just be a 3-0 for Mr. P and Krillo if they play this right. Or if Zagsy and Matthew want to go at game 4 to win back over the set, they need to play well here. Right now, both of them
formation doing extremely well for blue team. The team set up the ground pound.
The side sig. Mr. P completely pushing them off the stage.
The unarmed slice, baby.
Yeah, from Matthew. The cannonballs from Krillo.
There we go. Some break just right there, going everywhere. Mr. P looking for that sig. The neutral sig so big from Diana's blasters.
The blue team is so damaged right now. One solid hit on either of them, and they are out.
The only
He
person
misses
right now,
the recovery after the downlight. Mr. P gets the...
Oh!
This is a 1v1! He misses the Sair!
Matthew has just
Gets the weapon toss, and that's the game! They take game 3. They are continuing this set.
So, Matthew snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. It almost looked like Mr. P disconnected there at the end. He was just sliding down the wall doing nothing. Misses the dodge, doesn't do anything, just gets taken down by that toss. Personally, if it were me in Mr. P's situation, I would just blame lag. I'd appeal to Koki and just say, hey man, I was lagging. They lag botted me, you know. you gotta forfeit them.
Alright. So we have the same character picks for everybody, except Krillo switching over to the Lucian from the Thatch, opting for the Katars over the Sword. Could be due to the fact that they were losing on the edge quite a bit, and he wants the Katars for the better edge play, but he still wants to have the guns for the great synergy that he has with Mr. Pedronowski.
Well, one of the things that we noticed, though, is that synergy they had was very hero-specific because it was utilizing Thatch's SIGs.
That's also very true. We'll see how the Lucian pick works out for him, because he does still have another game to experiment. If this game doesn't go well, the set still isn't over, and he has a chance to switch back to Thatch if he needs to.
Alright, so here we go. Oh, Krillo getting the 2-for-1. Happy birthday to ya. The grab cancel finally manages to get a little bit of extra tap. Mr. P in a bit of trouble, though, getting cornered against those Katars. Gotta get back to the stage. He's got no recovery. Goodbye, Mr. P.
Krillo, down there pretty deep too, goes for the N-Sig, misses. Matthew really fishes for those reads with the Katars. He tends to go for a lot of reads with Sair or Nair, and then tries to read their dodge and go for a Nair into another, a Dare into another Nair or Sair to get them even lower, but he keeps on missing these Dares. He needs to really work on switching up his edge game because it is not working with these Dare reads.
One of the things that I think that Hurricane Matthew, though, with those dares is going for is just the awkward angle and how difficult it is to punish.
This is true. He usually isn't getting punished for this, but at the same time, he's dropping edge guards. And I don't know, if it was me, I'd rather go for a more risky play and make sure I can confirm the edge guard rather than going for something awkward like that.
I do agree. But again, I think it's, especially in the situations where you're against a middling health opponent, you'd want to deal more. The edge guard isn't likely to go for a full Gimp kill.
Gets a double dare onto his teammate and Krillo. Krillo, that could be a stock. Has the recovery though. Gets the recovery.
Krillo's still alive. How?
He is hanging on for dear life right now.
His health is almost black. Wow.
Krillo,
like the red team's
might be able to get the Gimp here, does not quite get it. That dare is going to knock Krillo out. He was so damaged. He just died to an unarmed dare.
Gets that Dr. Doom dive kick. Knock him away.
I'm a little bit concerned with...
We're looking for that synergy combo starter, but they get interrupted.
I'm a little bit concerned with Matthew's hammer edge play, because he's not going for very many recoveries, and he's opting for more Sairs, and which Sairs are leaving him a lot more vulnerable to attacks, and he's gotten punished quite a few times for going for these Sairs. I think he needs to really work on optimizing his edge play, because he's going for really safe Katar edge play, but then really dangerous hammer edge play. He really needs to recollect himself here and figure out what's going wrong.
Perfect read.
Krillo with a really well-placed ground pound just out of the range of Matthew's recovery, and it's just going to completely take away his stock. Mr. P currently extremely deep into the red on his final stock. He's playing extremely carefully to make sure he does not leave his opponent to 2v1 these guys.
Right at this point, when we notice he's not even really going for too many hits.
But he makes a mistake, and he ends up suiciding. Now Krillo in a 2v1, he does have 2 stocks though. There is a chance for this.
If there's anybody who can do it at this point, I would expect Krillo to. We did see Midget and Hyper Hero make this kind of comeback in their sets, but these are different teams. We know it's possible, though. We've seen it this tournament even.
Krillo playing really well, spacing with these Katars right now. Maybe the Lucian was a good pick, because I feel like Sword would not have been able to do the kind of things that Katars can in the situation, being really quick and really nimble movement, being able to get in and out of there, being really unpunishable. You wouldn't be able to do that kind of thing with Sword. Exactly.
The diagonal movement with the Katar makes it a lot harder to punish, as opposed to the strict verticality and linearity of Sword. But at this point, both the people on Red Team right now, Zagzy and Hurricane Pike Matthew, are so hungry. They're dancing around, just trying to get even the start of anything resembling a combo against Krillo. Meanwhile, Krillo is just dancing around, more dodges than attacks at this point. But that is the nature of the beast when you're 2-on-1. Dodging through the throw, almost getting into connection. But Zagzy getting the gauntlet starter. No big combos, though.
Krillo playing extremely safe.
He has to in this scenario. He just has to get pokes until he can get somebody damaged enough to get a good kill. Almost gimping Matthew. Such awkward positioning. The Katars versus Katars is going to make this very difficult for Krillo, especially the way that Matthew plays safely, but no!
Krillo!
Suicides.
Krillo is now in a situation where this could be done. He's in a 1v1. He does have a damage deficit, but this is definitely very possible.
But Zagzy with the gauntlets.
Krillo is extremely hungry for this win. Zagzy almost gets that
dodging the
instinct.
tech chase.
Zagzy is really fishing for these SIGs right now. He wants to finish this game, but he needs to play more safe. He's fishing for too much. This could be his downfall.
There it is.
There, though.
There. Needs one more hit! Another snare! Unarmed snare!
He dodges the nair, gets to safety. These two are both relatively damaged. Krillo marginally higher, but what this means is that Zagzy can still just get hit once or twice and be ready to die from a SIG. There's still a chance that Krillo could do this.
Zagzy getting hungry
and like the recovery.
Oh!
Zagzy! Oh!
This is
extremely... Krillo goes for the dare center!
He's not getting these follow-ups, though. There's a throw! Could that be enough? Not yet.
Touch the ground. Krillo goes to the side sig. Both of these players are in kill percent.
Zagzy not even bothering to try and attack at this point, just throwing for damage and possible kills.
Krillo!
Missing the neutral stick, getting high in the air! The throw!
This is so close! Both of these players just need one good kill move, and that's the game! The down sig, the side leg punish, though!
I can't believe this. I can't watch this right now. This is
so close. There's a minute left on the clock!
I don't believe it! Even with the side lights, just the fact that it's coming from unarmed.
There is a minute left on the clock. This could go to sudden death if this goes on any longer. The recovery, not gonna knock him out. This is crazy.
Looking for the
set. He's gonna do it. The set count is 2-2. Zagzy and Matthew are bringing it back.
Zagzy has to feel good about himself right there. That's incredible.
Congratulations to Zagzy.
I need more caffeine. I can't contain this hype.
I already finished my soda, man. I finished my Baja Blast.
That's a man after my own heart. So, wait a second. I just realized something. I look over at you right now, man. You're not wearing a suit. I thought we agreed we were going to be suiting up today.
Man, it's over there. I could do it. But the thing is I've been cleaning all day, man. I didn't want to get the suit dirty.
All right. I understand. It's just a real disappointment. You know, I'm here looking all formal and everything, and you're there in your t-shirt and feeling good about yourself. It's just like, you know, I thought we were supposed to be professional here. I thought that's what Ippon Esports is all about.
Man, Man, with how this tournament bracket has been going so far, it's hard to take it so professionally when 5 of the teams DQ.
2, 1.
Well, we can be professional, they don't have to be. Let's get back to this action. Game 5, loser goes home to the salt mines. Here we go. Everybody's got weapons now. Hurricane Matthew is already just getting tag teamed and sandwiched.
I'd like to point out the fact that Krillo did, in fact, go back to the thatch from Lucien. He did have those guitars, which were working really well for him, but I don't know. He decided to go back to the thatch anyways.
I think having the map control and having something with a bit more verticality, the long walls of Mammoth, is much better for the sword.
This is true. He possibly could have played into the fact that they were able to counterpick and
Yes.
went with sword instead.
So, at this point, Mr. P again deep red, Zagsy light red. Both them though, Mr. P getting out of there, Zagsy with the gauntlets, keeping himself relatively safe. Hurricane Matthew though doing a lot of work for red team.
Gets the end sig. Zagsy is holding on for dear life now.
Krillo is unarmed, finally gets those blasters, looks for the side sig immediately. The cannonballs to cover his way back home, and goodbye Hurricane Matthew. It's so hard to keep a Thatch away because he can zone you out with those cannonballs.
Oh, that could have been horrible if Matthew just released that Qatar ground pound a fourth of a second earlier.
Meanwhile, Zagsy out, Krillo on deep red health. Mr. P again taking so much damage. I love this. Mr. P really needs to play somebody like
Zagsy
Azog.
ends up saving Mr. P, but is he going to be able to make it back? He is not. That
No.
is not enough. Mr. P already on the 1 stock, but Krillo taking names. Krillo still
Looking
on
for
3
the
stocks. Double edge guard going on right now. Krillo is insane.
He is
Krillo going on another
absolutely
map.
nuts.
Krillo is still holding on to his first stock with that Thatch on 4 defense. Commentator's curse.
Finally getting knocked out, but Krillo, we need to find some kind of nickname that shows just how survivable this man really is.
Thatch secretly does have 9 defense, even though he only has 3 defense. So,
That's why you use the defensive stance, man. You go from 3 to 9 just like that. And the sidelight.
I didn't even notice that Matthew was on his last stock. Zagsy is now in a clutch situation. This game is going by way faster than last game.
Zagsy, though, was the one who took back last round, but he is on his last stock now. This is a rough situation for Zagsy. Krillo in a much more comfortable situation. Mr. P has a comfortable amount of health for him. And the sandwich comes in right now, but the friendly fire! Mr. P might be in a bad shape. Makes it back to the stage, though. There's the Sig. Neutral Sigs already. They're starting to space out.
Oh, man.
They're hungry right now. They're looking for their combo setups. The blaster work they both have is nuts. Absolutely insane.
I'm feeling like this is going to go towards the way of blue team, and they are going to get this set 3-2. Zagsy is not going to live the side sig. The double flag coming out. That is the set going for blue team. 3-2. They are moving on to grand finals to fight Hyper Hero in Midget again.
You know what this means, though? It means you get to see the possibility of a run back, the possibility of a bracket reset. You get to see so much Brawlhalla action. You know, after all of that hype, I feel like I'm going to wet myself. I got to walk away for a second. I think I need you to take over for the next minute and change.
Alrighty, then.
I do appreciate it, though, because this is absolutely ludicrous.
Still character selects coming out from Midget and Pedronowski. Both players very indecisive, it seems. Krillo and Hyper Hero are just all ready with their characters. But Midget going with a character I've never seen him play before. A Queen Eye pick, and he having level 12 on Queen Nai. I'm a little bit... Hikin. Okay, so I'm saying it wrong. It's Pedronsky. I listen. I'm not great at names, so that I will do then. Waiting for Mr. P to pick his character. We have a weird pick coming out from Midget, and the same picks we were seeing coming out from Hyper Hero and Krillo.
Alright, I'm back. I brought some nachos. You want any?
Oh man, I just finished my nachos, believe it or not. Taco Bell is great.
Well, you see, we've got such a great spectator match. I figure the nachos are absolutely necessary.
I'm a man of my word. I did in fact just have nachos.
Alright. So, here we go. We have Hyper Hero on Nyx and Midget using Queen Nai.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical of that myself. The fact that he only has a level 12 Queen Nai. Very interesting pick coming out from Midget, because not only does it not have a sword or a hammer or an axe, it's also two weapons that I've never seen him play before. Spear and guitars. I've seen him play bow, I've seen him play... what was it? I've seen him play Scythe, but I've never seen him play Spear or guitars. This is very interesting.
I honestly feel like this is just a cocky pick. But with how much Krillo and Mr. P have been getting warmed up, you cannot get cocky against them.
Hyper
We
Hero
really saw them
still
coming
being
down in the last match.
Hyper Hero still being respectful with his pick though, playing the character he's been playing all tournament. His Scythe has been getting extremely good recently. Ever since the changes to bow, he's been trying to find a new character. He tried out Zol for a while, wasn't working out the best for him, so recently he's picked up Scythe with Mirage and Nyx, and it seems to be working out really well in his favor. And we can see from how crazy his Scythe combos and Scythe strings are.
So Mr. P already losing his first stock to a failed recovery. And Krillo's been putting so much work out there, but the one thing we notice is in spite of how many combos he's starting and how many hits he's getting, he was still lower on health because of the low defensive Thatch. So all of the trades that he gets and all of the combos that Red Team gets on him are more effective. Oh my, happy birthday, Red Team!
Red Team just seems to be going off right now, almost getting Krillo down to his last stock already. Midget still on his first stock. Hyper Hero still on his first stock. Hyper Hero still in the orange on his first stock. These Red Team is just having their way with Blue Team right now. And that's gonna be both of them on their last stock already. A minute and a half into the game.
Could we see the 6-stock miracle? No!
Commentator's curse really is something.
This could still be a 5-stock miracle though. Hyper Hero has plenty of health, and that Scythe is so dangerous. The cross-up dodge into the grab. So dangerous. I honestly think Hyper Hero's biggest threat is Midget himself.
Midget will just be like, man, we're so far ahead. It doesn't matter. I'll just kill you real quick.
Hyper Hero finally losing his first stock to the ground pound from Krillo. But Mr. P is deep red at this point, 1 sig, and he is going home.
And you are correct about that.
At the same time,
Hyper Hero just holding these down sigs, and it works!
You
Midget
jump
hitting
into the chains!
Midget recovers him up into the down sig from Nyx. That is going to be a 4-stock coming out from Team Red. Very convincing.
And Krillo jumps into the chains and he feels the pain. So what adjustments do you think Blue Team has to do to have even a chance at this point?
Well, I see a very interesting pick coming out from Krillo right now. Going with the Yumiko. I have not seen Krillo's Yumiko ever before.
And Krillo's stepping away from the blasters too.
This is true. He's playing 2 weapons that he was not playing before at all. He's playing the bow and the hammer here. I know that Krillo does have a very solid bow. There's nothing to bash about his bow there, but I have not seen Krillo play hammer before.
Those spirits from the Yumiko hammer sigs saved Midget. Just gave him a little more damage. But the combos coming out of Red Team right now and the damage they are outputting so quickly is disgusting. This is a whole nother level of Brawlhalla right here that we are seeing.
Hyper Hero on the edge with Krillo right now. Hyper Hero is just sticking with unarmed. He played unarmed for a solid 20 seconds there, just choosing not to pick up a weapon. He really is just, he doesn't care. He's playing this like it doesn't matter. He's not even caring to pick up a weapon against these players. And
I think he's so confident right now. It also explains Midget just completely changing up his hero picks. The stuff we've never seen him play.
I have seen Midget play bow before. I feel like a lot of these players have a bow because it just nowadays in the meta, bow is such a good weapon that you have to have a pocket bow or else you're going to have a problem. Before, I remember you used to need to have a pocket sword. If you can't play sword, you're going to have a problem. Nowadays, it seems like it's bow. Bow is taking its turn.
Bow's always been strong, though. Don't let anybody tell you anything else.
Bow is even stronger at lands, that's for sure.
Krillo getting them recoveries with the bow. I love just seeing people get shot out of the bow as you recover with that.
Personally, I feel like the cleanest looking move on bow is whenever you hit the very end of a bow dare, and it looks so satisfying.
Absolutely. Bow dare in and of itself is a incredibly satisfying move to watch, to land, everything about it. It's like Qatar dare, but better.
It really. And here we have a joint guest. Welcome, Eglanek. Mid-game.
Alright. So, Red Team handily taking this, another 4-stock. The real question I have at this point, could we see a 6-stock miracle? Could we see the dream?
Midget going with random. Oh my, he really is feeling himself.
Oh, this is incredible. And Krillo going back to Nyx. We started all of this off with Krillo and Hyper Hero on Nyx in the mirror. And here we might end it with the same thing.
Krillo on his Nyx. This is what I've been seeing him play so much this season. This is what I expected to come from Krillo, and he's finally brought it out. Mr. P going with the Hattori. Interesting. Mr. P, if he didn't have a dodge, he would have just been dead in 5 seconds there. That's not a great start.
Well, that's what we expect of Mr. P at this point, is just being a punching bag, getting taken out immediately.
Man, poor Mr. P.
He's very strong on the offense. He does a lot of synergy with Krillo. The issue just, he walks into getting hit. As we see right there, he gets sandwiched on. Krillo already losing his first stock, getting ground pounded away by Midget Thatch. I love that Shark Thatch skin too.
Quite a great skin. Personally, my favorite, I always have to go for the Thatch that has the crab on his head. I love that skin, the one with the wooden sword and the wooden blasters. It's such a classic.
Krillo putting a lot of damage out there. They might get Hyper Hero out. This is actually looking somewhat close. The problem is the massive amount of damage that Krillo has already taken on his second stock.
Mr. P unfortunately does his down sig in the wrong direction. That would have easily, or well, not easily, but possibly knocked out Midget since he's such high damage.
A little bit of friendly fire on blue team, not what they need right now. Krillo out again. They're desperately looking to get the first stock off of red team. Red team looking for that 6-stock dream, though. Hyper Hero, the reverse, the cross-up into the scythe grab is so difficult to read. Finally gets taken out, though, by a ground pound. Mr. P, dangerously close to his last stock. There he goes, Mr. P on his last stock. 5 stocks right now for red team, a 3-stock advantage.
Midget with the crazy edge plate. That is going to be a gift for Midget. This could be a 5-stock.
This could be the 5-stock. The 6-stock's dream is dead, but long live the 5-stock. There we go, the scythe combos. The tech chase there, the pivot.
Mr. P just wants this stock off of Midget.
He absolutely does. Mr. P is running away looking for any opportunity to get a hit.
This is definitely it. There is no way he could come back from this. They are just so dominant right now. Gets the GC side sig though.
Okay, that's another 4-stock. That means that blue team wins.
Oh my god, Hyper Hero!
Disgusting!
Hyper! This is a tournament! You cannot be doing that in a tournament, Hyper Hero!
Is that
That is
even
not
allowed?
allowed! No!
Allowed on Twitch? That was vulgar!
No! That should not be allowed anywhere! Why is this on camera?
But the moral of the story...
Foul!
The moral of the story with that disgusting combo is that Hyper Hero and Midget go home with $25 in their pockets they didn't have before. And Krillo and Mr. Pedronski, I respect your play, but not enough to give you anything more than a go home to the salt mines, grab some popcorn for 1v1s, as that will be coming up soon. Maybe cry into your popcorn a little bit, I don't know.
7 o'clock is when 1v1 top 8 starts?
That, I do believe, 7 o'clock CST.
Alrighty.
So you have been watching the Ippon Esports 2v2 Grand Finals. Please stay tuned. Coming up in 1 hour will be the 1v1 top 8. Hopefully, they have more participants than we did in
Definitely.
the 2v2s. In spite of that, though, those were some solid matches. I'm very disappointed, though. We had top characters like Noel, like Mantrak, like Boomy, and Lilcapt, all on the line who were not able to play.
Disappointing.
Absolutely. I would have loved to have seen those matches. But right now, some absolutely incredible games. Well-deserved win and well-deserved prize going home to Hyper Hero and Midget. Go buy yourself some pizza. Or maybe some Taco Bell, as my good friend Hiken Viken can attest to being so delicious.
Not sponsored, but go get yourself some Taco Bell.
Definitely not sponsored. So, anything more you'd like to say? I don't know if we're going to be cutting stream or if we're going to be sitting here and filling in for a while.
I really hope that we're not sitting in for an hour filling in, just trying to be entertaining and failing miserably.
Oh, I wouldn't say we'd be failing miserably. You got me here. We could do some analysis on the games, but at this point, I do think a stream cut is going to be in our very near future. And I do think we'll be coming back again at 7 o'clock CST in 1 hour from now for your 1v1 top 8, featuring the one and only Holy Moly King Lennox. And I need to check the names one more time to make sure I've got this one right. Parathesia. But I think without further ado, a sign-off is in order. You want to take it away, Hiken?
Let's see. How should I go about signing off here? I need a good catchphrase. Give me a good catchphrase. Come on, man. Help me out here.
Well, we've all heard the call for Brawl, but unfortunately the bell has tolled, and we'll be closing class on this clinic.
Oh boy.
So, without further ado, I am Stage Games,
I am Hiking Viking.
and we are all here on behalf of Koki Blaze, a wonderful tournament coordinator, for the Ippon Esports Finals. And we'll be seeing you with 2 new casters in about an hour. Please come back, enjoy yourselves for some great Brawlhalla action!
Until then, this has been Ippon Esports League Season 2.
Alright, looks like they're on BRB.
Alrighty.
Good work, man. Pleasure working with you.